Well, Nancy Pelosi managed to hang on to her speakership. Amazingly, it was in jeopardy, and with them holding the slimmest of ruling margin, she still had to employ a little late night trickery in order to be the Speaker of the House. In other words, violating one of her own rules that would prohibit her from allowing distance voting. Yet this time, she allowed it. And of course, in paying homage to the fact that the radical left has taken over the entire thought process and propaganda of the party, she has acquiesced in an area of more cancel culture. Nancy Pelosi has vowed to make the verbiage, the vocabulary of the hallowed halls of Congress, i.e., the House of Representatives, gender neutral in their speech. In other words, we won't refer to her as Madam Speaker. There will no longer be him or her, his or she. It's all going to be neutral. And to demonstrate this absurdity, they opened the 117th Congress with a prayer. And the prayer ended with Amen and a woman. And might I add, oh man. I'm sorry, but Nancy Pelosi, not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer, occasionally really does leave me just some low-hanging fruit that just begs to come along and smack it like a kid would in T-ball. To show you just how absolutely, completely ignorant, the phrase amen has absolutely nothing to do with gender. A first semester freshman in any Bible college in America, or I could say the world for that matter, would tell you that amen is simply a direct translation from the Hebrew meaning so be it. It is the Hebrew pronunciation that comes out as Amen. This is why the religion of Islam, which does not in any way want to try to sound like Hebrew, although they've copied an awful lot of Hebrew, they refer to it as Amin, but in actuality it is Amen. Has nothing to do whatsoever with gender. That said, Nancy Pelosi and the radical left will never, ever allow common sense to get in the way of a great opportunity to strike a blow for social justice. Here's my issue with all of this. Why is this an issue? There was a time we were told it was a fight for equality. Women fought for the right to vote, and they should have been given the right to vote. Black Americans fought for the right to, first of all, of course, be free, and then, of course, to be treated as equals. Martin Luther King dreamed of the day when his children would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And admittedly, it took Americans longer than it should have to wake up, to realize, and to live up to all men are created equal. But we got there. And it seems like as soon as we got there, well, then no. That was the wrong goal. Wait, what? Then we had to celebrate diversity. Remember, that was the catchphrase, the buzz phrase. We had to celebrate diversity. Stop trying to make everything the same and celebrate and embrace. And we had to endorse and promote diversity. Okay. And just about the time we started, quote unquote, celebrating and emphasizing diversity, now we're celebrating and embracing nothing. So we went from making people equal to then pointing out the diversity to now we're nothings. You're not a female that has achieved equality. You're nothing. You're not a male who is willing to embrace diversity, you're now nothing. That's really what this cancel culture is really about. Making everything a some zero nothing. Have you thought that all the way through yet? I mean, I find it that in their delusion, they have actually destroyed what it is they started out to achieve, which was equality. Don't make it about race. Yet, we have made everything, as of late, about race. We have emphasized one race over another race. And what you're really doing is you are just simply replacing now which race you're now going to deify and magnify. What would they do with Washington? I found it funny in watching some football over the weekend. You know, Washington is no longer the Redskins. They're now the Washington Nothings. They haven't come up with their name yet. And you could tell that even the commentators, they're stumbling and listening to some sports radio on Monday. As they're talking and recapping games, they're stumbling because, you know, they talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. They want to talk about the New York Giants. And when they get to Washington, they go the Washington, and then there's like this awkward pause because they can't call them anything. Well, what would happen if, in striking a blow, and we'll show you people just how bigoted you've been. We'll now point it out and pin it back on you. We'll call them the Washington Palefaces, the Washington Caucasians. Well, at some point, then the narrative will be, aha, we're empowering white supremacy. So now it's nothing. Females, apparently, you can't be proud of the fact that you are a woman and that you have achieved in greater numbers representation in Congress like never before. No, we can't even use your proper pronoun to identify you because you're nothing. Well, that kind of blows the whole Joe Biden thing out of the water, where he has promised to have the most diverse cabinet ever. Okay, but I thought it was nothing now. And again, I'm not arguing for inequality. I am arguing for what the argument used to be. That diversity being allowed to become equal. And what we have done in an overreaction to everything and an oversensitivity to everything, we have now made everything nothing. Wow. Way to improve America. Just a little mini rant as I was musing. More rants are on the way as we gear up for January 6th. Game on. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you share this to your social media platforms. Give us a thumbs up and a like. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel. Smack the bell. Click the word all to get notification of my next rant. Oh, and psst, can you do me a favor? Can you find me on Rumble? Apparently my videos are there. I don't know how to find them. If you find them, send me the link.